Watch this clip of Don Jr. handling this MSNBC propagandist. It was just perfect.
What is that change going to look like, Don? What practically, your father as president, I think you would even say, was a divisive figure. What's it going to look like in the second term?
I don't think he was a divisive figure at all. I think the media created divisiveness around him. They lied about Russia collusion. They said he was a traitor. They went after him in every which way possible. If the media actually starts being an honest broker, talking about the things that he did, the prosperity he brought, the peace deals that he signed around the world, rather than the disaster that we're living right now, I think you'd do everyone in the country a big favor.
I know immigration's important to him. I covered the family separation crisis closely. Will we continue to see policies like separating 5,000 children deliberately from their parents?
You mean the Obama administration?
You know they didn't do that, sir.
Okay, sure.
Will there be a second family separation policy?
It's MSNBC, so I expect nothing less from you clowns. Even today, even 48 hours later, you couldn't wait. You couldn't wait with your lies and with your nonsense. So just get out of here.
Wow.
What does that change?
Well said. And he's exactly right. He's trying to point out that Trump is the divisive one while he's here literally less than 24 hours, 48 hours before, after his life was threatened. They come in here with this divisive rhetoric. And it's funny how he framed it. Did you notice how he framed it? He said, he meant it as if like Don is supposed to agree with him that his dad is a divisive figure. He said, wouldn't you agree that your dad is a divisive figure? Listen.
Going to look like, Don? What practically, your father as president, I think you would even say, was a divisive figure. What's it going to look like?
I think you would say he was a divisive figure. So here's what he was expecting and waiting and hoping that he would agree with him that, yeah, my dad is divisive. My dad is the reason that this country is in a hell basket. Crazy. These people are not. These people are nonsensical. What are you talking about? But Don is absolutely correct. Yeah, he brought up Obama in this situation, but the way I would have handled it is, hey, listen, when anybody commits a crime, they're separated from their child. For example, if you get pulled over, you have your kid in the back seat and you were drinking and driving, you're going to get separated from your kid. It doesn't matter what crime you commit. If there's a child present and you're going to jail or you're getting detained, they're going to separate you from your child. They do that to Americans and anybody that commits a crime. So it shouldn't be no different for anybody that jumps the border illegally. You technically committed a crime. You did commit a crime. It is illegal to jump the border. If you don't come through the port of entry or you fill out paperwork to actually come in here legally, and if you just jump the border, then yeah, that's a crime. I mean, you're going to get separated from your family. I don't understand how that concept is hard to understand for some folks. But it's funny that this guy is coming in here and saying, oh, what are some changes that Donald Trump is going to make with his divisive rhetoric? No, the question is, Don should have just flipped it on him and said, hey, what are the changes the media is going to make? Look at you and look at what you're saying now. Listen to what you're saying now. You're being divisive now with all these lies and nonsensical arguments. So the question is, what's the media going to do? What's Joy Reid going to do? What's Rachel Maddow going to do? What's The View going to do? What's CNN, MSNBC? What's all these propaganda outlets going to do moving forward with all the divisive rhetoric that they push? And that's the problem here. And the difference, and I've pointed this out in a previous video, is that the difference between the two sides is that the left is demonizing people's characters. When the left talks about MAGA, they're talking about the base. They're talking about voters. They'll say MAGA voters, MAGA supporters, Trump voters, Trump supporters are divisive. They're fascist. They're homophobe. They're transphobe, misogynist. They degrade character. That's the divisive part. You calling somebody Hitler is divisive. You saying Trump is a Nazi is divisive. But see, on the other end, because what they love to do is say, oh, both sides are divisive. Both sides have divisive rhetoric. But that's not the case. When the right is talking about the left, it's criticism and mostly saying things like, hey, their policies are dangerous. Their policies, they are. Borders being open is dangerous. Right? Their policies are dangerous. Their economy is bad. Right? That's the criticism that we hear. Their foreign policy is horrible. Right? Things that they're pushing in schools is dangerous, is not good, which is all accurate. But it's criticism of the policy itself. Republicans, conservatives they don't talk about the base. They don't say Biden voters or Biden supporters. No, they're saying Biden administration, the Democrats, the politicians themselves. We don't be talking about the voters. Yeah, we know leftists as a whole are kind of cuckoo, but generally speaking, that's the major difference between the two. Left, Democrats, progressives, everybody that's really on the left side, demonizes the right's character, conservatives' character, right? They're talking about you as an individual, as a person. On the other end of the spectrum is we're criticizing policy, ideas, right? Ideology differences, not character differences. And that's the biggest difference, and that's what the media does. The media just literally just talks trash about Donald Trump. They never even have anything substantive to say about the policies that he pushes for. All they resort to is just hyperbolic examples or explanations like, oh, that policy is just fascist. What do you mean by that? Oh, Project 2025 is a right-wing, fascist, extremist, Nazi playbook. What does that mean? What does that mean? What about it in Project 2025 are those things? They never want to elaborate on that. And that's the biggest problem. Until they actually start having productive conversations and stop attacking people personally, especially the media and this propagandist right here, this country is always going to be divided. I mean, that's just the way it is. You can't fix it by talking the way these people talk. So anyway, let me know what you guys think. Let's talk about this video in the comment section. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.